Good evening. I'd like to welcome everybody to Sentinel, Oklahoma and the commencement ceremonies for the 8th grade class of 2022. We ask that at this time to please silence or turn off your cell phones. And if for any reason you need to leave during the ceremony, it is being live streamed into the cafeteria. It is also available on the school's YouTube page. At the end of the ceremony, please wait until all graduating students have left the auditorium. At this time, just relax and remain seated as we welcome the Sentinel 8th grade class of 2022. Eighth grade students, please be seated. Teague Ferris has a GPA of 3.94. He's a member of the junior high Bulldog baseball team and is active in the Sentinel chapter of FFA. Please welcome the 2022 8th grade salutatorian, Teague Ferris.
Good evening. Throughout our school years, we have all learned valuable life lessons. Some the easy way, and some the hard. We've all gained a part of ourselves and are welcoming who we shall become. I have no doubt in my mind that every one of us has become a better student because of the magnificent staff, faculty, administrators, teachers, and coaches here at Sentinel. I know when we all grow up and graduate high school and move on to bigger and brighter things, we will think of those here who have helped us on our journey. We only have a short amount of time left here at Sentinel, so let's learn everything we can and take advantage of every opportunity. As the great Babe Ruth once said, never let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game. I'd like to leave you with this quote from an unknown author. A great hitter is successful only 3 out of every 10 times. So that means 7 times he fails. Life is like baseball. It is set up for you to fail, but it's not about how you fail or why you fail, but how you bounce back from that failure to get those 3 hits to be a great player. So my fellow classmates, let's always remember to swing for the fences. Thank you.
Drew Smith also has a GPA of 3.94. He's a member of the Bulldog Junior High baseball team and is active in the Sentinel chapter of FFA. Please welcome 2022 8th grade salutatorian, Drew Smith.
Good evening. I want to welcome everyone to Sentinel Junior High graduation. I'm thankful for everyone, including all of Sentinel School faculty, friends, our families, and especially my classmates. I'm going to make this short and sweet because there are several of us that are speaking tonight. So I don't want to be like a good Baptist preacher and keep you long enough that your Sunday dinner burns. Right, Chris Flock? As most people know, I did not begin school in Sentinel. We live in Hobart, so that's where school began for me. When my older brother transferred to Sentinel to be able to play more baseball, I transferred also. I was in 2nd grade and afraid because I knew no one over here. Ryan Shields was the first friend that I made. We were both in the same class, and our teacher made us popcorn read. Now, when she first told us this, I thought we were going to eat popcorn while reading a book, and boy, was I wrong. Good memories, Ryan. Since then, I've made a lot of other good friends through school and baseball. When I was younger, I never put much effort into learning or playing the game. But as I got older, I realized that if I wanted to play, I had to put get serious. As I began putting forth the effort, I also began to feel the support of my teammates and coaches. I knew then and there Sentinel Schools was home to me. As we venture forward into high school, some of us may already have dreams or goals set. Some of us may not. I would just like to challenge each of you to set a goal, and within the next 4 years, try to obtain it. My goal is to be the best version of myself on and off the baseball field, and in the classroom, so that when I graduate high school here at Sentinel Schools, people will remember me as hardworking, dedicated, and a good teammate who loves God and his family. I hope what I just said helps you realize that your dreams or goals are never impossible. You just have to work for them. So in closing, I would like to thank everyone for coming to share with us and saying goodbye to this milestone. My mom is always saying that everything happens in a blink of an eye. At 15 years old, I can't say I fully agree with that. But to my classmates, I'd say let's make our next 4 years of high school the best. Thank you.
Maggie Towery has a GPA of 3.94. She's a member of the Junior High Lady Bulldog basketball and softball teams. She's active in the Sentinel FCCLA, 4-H, and is a member of the junior high academic team. Please welcome 2022 8th grade salutatorian, Maggie Towery.
Good evening, fellow classmates, parents, and faculty. I would like to thank everyone for being here and supporting your upcoming freshmen. If you don't know who I am, I'm Maggie Towery, or some of you might know me as the preacher's kid. Now, my speech won't be very long due to me being very nervous. At first, I didn't know what to write this speech about, but then I realized I needed to thank some people. I feel like I could speak for all my classmates in saying that at some point this year, we haven't wanted to come to school. But we came. So good job, guys. But I think part of the reason was our teachers. One thing I learned this year is you can always be pushed harder than you think you can. And I think my teachers helped me figure that out. Our teachers pushed us to be the best us that we could be. Whether that was playing trash ball to study for a test or cooking something in FCCLA, my teachers were always there for me and all my classmates. When I was looking for quotes and wise words to put in this speech, I came across this one quote that I really liked. I don't know who said it, but the quote says, "Isn't it possible to thank a teacher? There are no words to appreciate someone whose words empower children to chase their dreams." Our teachers helped us through almost everything that's happened in our lives, and they always told us that if we push ourselves and never give up, we can accomplish anything. We couldn't have gotten through this year without you all. So from me and all my classmates, thank you.
Mckenna Baker has a GPA of 4.0. She's a member of the junior high Lady Bulldog softball team and academic team, as well as a member of the junior high cheer squad and the Sentinel TSA. Please welcome 2022 8th grade valedictorian, Mckenna Baker.
Good evening. How awesome is it that we have 10 valedictorians and salutatorians in a school the size of Sentinel? That just goes to show how much we push ourselves and each other on a daily basis, no matter if it's in the classroom, on the field, on the court, or in the show ring. My challenge to each of my classmates is to continue to push each other over the next 4 years. No slacking off. Show up each day and give it your all. Push yourself beyond what you feel capable of. It's in those moments where you not only push yourself beyond your normal limits, but when you accomplish more than you ever thought you could, that you begin to truly define who you are as a person. Will you settle for just being an average player or just having an average season? Will you settle for doing just enough to get by in the classroom? While being average is fine for some people, we can decide right now to be more than average. We get to decide right now to work harder, to set our sights higher, to desire more. We get to decide. But in 4 years, when we're finishing up our time in Sentinel High School and we look back, we'll have to take ownership over where we are and the choices we made. It won't be our coaches or our parents or our teachers who held us back. It will rest solely on our shoulders. Fellow classmates, the ball is in your court. Your 4 quarters begin now. Are you going to sit on the sidelines, or are you going to get out there and give it your all? CEO of OpenAI, Sam Altman, once said, "Young people willing to push super hard to make something happen are among the most powerful forces in the world." It's your choice. Choose wisely. Thank you.
Zeta Baker also has a GPA of 4.0. She's a member of the junior high choir, academic team, is active in the Sentinel chapter of FFA, and currently serves as president of the Sentinel Senior 4-H. Please welcome 2022 8th grade valedictorian, Zeta Baker.
Good evening, family, friends, parents, faculty, and classmates. It is an honor to be a part of the 2022 8th grade graduation. As I look back on this year, one quote comes to mind. John A. Shedd once said, "A ship in harbor is safe, but that is not what ships were built for." In the same way that we may be safe at home doing our normal routines and not exploring, we were not made to do that. Though we may be comfortable in our surroundings, we need to get out of our comfort zone sometimes. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, "Zeta, it takes a lot to get out of my comfort zone." Trust me, I know. This year, I have gotten out of my comfort zone and tried new things. I've been to multiple FFA speech contests and pushed past my limits by singing in the Sentinel Junior High Choir. And if any of you know me well, I don't like speaking in front of large groups, much less singing. And as I spoke with classmates as I prepared for tonight, I learned several others are already pushing the limits too. Mckenna shares that being a cheerleader this past year was beyond her comfort zone. For Maggie, she will serve as the FCCLA secretary this next year, a position beyond the ball court or softball field where she is most comfortable. And you know what we learned? We learned we can. So now we are more confident that we will. Was it always easy? No, but it was definitely worth it. So I challenge you to do the same. Find a way to get out of your comfort zone. Try new things. Live your life to the fullest. So classmates, it is time for us to raise our anchors, set our course, and leave the harbor. I want to take a minute to thank all of my teachers for teaching me and always encouraging us to do our best. Also, thanks to my friends for being there to cheer me up on a bad day or to help me when I make a bad grade. I look forward to this bond we have as a class to grow stronger as we enter our high school years. I want to leave you with one final thought. As my old parachute instructor used to say, look before you leap and never jump to conclusions. Thank you.
Kale Dyer has a GPA of 4.0. He's active in the Sentinel TSA, so please welcome 2022 8th grade valedictorian, Kale Dyer.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for coming tonight. I would like to thank all of the people that have helped me get to this point. First, I would like to thank the two people that have probably helped me the most, my mom and dad. They have pushed me to get good grades all throughout the school year, and they have also influenced my behavior. Secondly, I would like to thank all of my teachers for putting up with us and trying their hardest to guide us to success. I am thankful to the school staff for giving us a proper education and coming to school even though they have to deal with us kids. I also would like to thank all of my friends and classmates for all the memories we have made and for all of the fun moments we had. I am glad to be a part of the class of 2026, and I am excited to be moving on to high school. I have made it a goal of mine to be here 4 years from now. I challenge all of you to set goals for yourselves and then strive to achieve them. Now, I want to give the parents and grandparents some thanks. I want to thank all of you for being here for your children or grandchildren. I also want to thank you all for your time. So thank you.
Levi Fields has a GPA of 4.0. He's active in the Sentinel chapter of TSA. Please welcome 2022 8th grade valedictorian, Levi Fields.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Levi Fields, and I would like to start off by thanking all of my teachers for having to put up with me through elementary and junior high, and for putting in their best effort to help my classmates and I gain all the knowledge that we have up to this point. So thank you all for helping me get to where I am standing now. I would also like to thank my friends for being there for me when I needed it the most, and for always having my back. You all were and still are the best, no matter how weird you all get. I want to thank Kale for helping me succeed ever since first grade and for helping me with the problems I did not know. I would also like to thank Robert for helping me out with my art class and for showing me how to visualize where the image is going to be on the page. I'm hoping that I will succeed in the rest of my time here in Sentinel, and I'm also hoping that whatever I choose to do in life, I can accomplish it. I'm going to push myself to my limit to thrive in life and to be the person that my parents want me to be. Thank you.
Maverick Sanders has a GPA of 4.0. He's a member of the junior high Bulldog baseball and basketball teams and is active in Sentinel TSA. Please welcome 2022 8th grade valedictorian, Maverick Sanders.
Good evening, everyone. As you may know, I'm here to give a speech, and I realize there are 10 of my classmates giving speeches, so I'm going to keep it short and sweet. I want to start off by saying I'm so proud of how far my class has come, and I look forward to continuing this journey with you guys. I'm still trying to accept the fact I'm going to be in high school after all of this. My favorite part of this school year has been the basketball season. We have came so far, and I love the bond I've created with my teammates and coaches. I would like to thank some people who have made an impact on my life, starting with my mom, who has pushed me to be the best person I can be. I would like to thank my dad for always making sure I'm kind and respectful to others. I'd like to thank my sister for getting me to school on time. I want to thank the rest of my family for making me the person I am today. I'd like to thank my teachers for holding me accountable. I'd like to thank my friends for making this school year fun and a little less miserable. And lastly, I'd like to thank God for accepting me along with all my flaws. With all that being said, I'm happy to start a new chapter of my life with all my friends and family by my side. Thank y'all.
Ryan Shields has a GPA of 4.0. He's a member of the Bulldog baseball team, is active in TSA and student council, currently serves as vice president of the 8th grade class. Please welcome 2022 8th grade valedictorian, Ryan Shields.
Good evening. Members of the board, faculty, parents, and friends, on behalf of the 8th grade class, I'd like to thank you for coming. Tonight, I want to encourage my class to think about the future. We have all been blessed with skills, talents, and an education. The question is, what will you do with them? In 4 years, we will be playing our last game as Bulldogs, closing our lockers for the last time, and walking out the doors of Sentinel High School into our future. The choices we make today will affect our tomorrow. I found 3 things to discuss to help us reach our goals. First, chase your dreams. Do what you love. Create a life doing things you are naturally good at and truly enjoy. We are all unique. Some of us are driven by athletics or academics, and others by FFA or tech. We all have different strengths and desires. Don't get lost trying to live someone else's life. Live the life God created for you. Second, take risk and don't be afraid to fail. You will fail. You will lose. You will have people discourage you and tell you that you are not good enough. When it happens, keep fighting. In the words of Rocky Balboa, it ain't about how hard you get hit, it's about how hard you get hit and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Michael Jordan is a good example. He missed more than 9,000 shots, lost almost 300 games, and was trusted to take the game-winning shot 26 times and missed. And he is still known as one of the best basketball players of all time. He is quoted as saying, "To learn to succeed, you must learn to fail." We all have the ability to be successful. The question is, do we have the guts to fail? Third, be great and giving. Be grateful for the talents you have. Be grateful to the people who have educated you. Be grateful for the family and friends who love and support you no matter what. When celebrating a win, look back and realize you didn't get there alone. Invest your time and talents into others. In the words of John Wesley, do all the good you can, by the means you can, in the ways you can, in all the places you can, and at all the times you can, to all the people you can, as long as you can. In closing, I want to leave you with this tonight. I want to leave you with this thought. Your life is God's gift to you. What you do with it is your gift to God. Thank you.
Ace Snowden has a GPA of 4.0. He's a member of the junior high Bulldog baseball and basketball teams, is active in TSA, student council, and currently serves as the president of the 8th grade class. Please welcome 2022 8th grade valedictorian, Ace Snowden.
Good evening. My name is Ace Snowden. I'm a part of the 8th grade graduating class. First things first, I'd like to give a big thanks to my parents for always pushing me to do my best in everything I do. Next, I would like to give a couple thank yous. Thank you, Coach Johnson, for always being on me to keep my head up in sports and for talking about who I should pick up for my fantasy team. Thank you, Coach Allen, for making this school year seem like it was flying by every time we were in your class. Thank you, Mr. Funkhauser, for always keeping a good attitude and cracking jokes when we were in your class. Thank you, Mrs. Kiloffer, for always always helping me out when we were trying something new and the others have already done it. Thank you, Mrs. Ivan, for not getting too mad at us when we couldn't quiet down. Last but not least, Mr. Marshall. Thank you for always being laid back, talking about sports, and for always coming into our conversations on who is greatest this or that and making us all sound dumb. My favorite part of the school year was the basketball season. We went 13-2, and I think if you asked all of us, we would say we had a lot of fun. Classmates, thank you for making this school year fun and enjoyable. Now it is time for the next chapter of our lives, and to be honest, I'm pretty dang excited. Thank you.
I didn't miss anybody, did I? Just one, right? Mr. Craig Towery graduated from Oklahoma Baptist University with a degree in biblical languages. He then went on to work at the First Baptist Church in Washington, Oklahoma as youth minister. In 2001, Mr. Towery moved his family to Sentinel and served as youth minister at the First Baptist Church for 5 years. After moving to pursue other callings, Mr. Towery returned to Sentinel in May of 2017 to serve as pastor of the Sentinel First Baptist Church. Please welcome Pastor Craig Towery.
Well, thank you. Let me start off by saying, Mr. Goosetree, Mr. Grable, thank you for the opportunity, but also as a dad, thank you both for all that you do for this school system, for this community. I appreciate you. 8th grade class, congratulations. You are quite a class. Tell you what, for a class of 30 students, a third of you are valedictorians or salutatorians. That's pretty amazing. I want to tell you, your speeches were tremendous. I want to congratulate you on the speeches, but also the 10 of you who spoke. I want you to know, besides just the speeches, what an accomplishment it was for you to be up here on the stage speaking. In survey after survey, top 5 fears of people are number 5, needles. Anybody afraid of needles? That's me. Number 4, heights. Anybody afraid of heights? Number 3 is snakes. Number 2 is spiders. You know what the number 1 fear time after time after time is? Public speaking. More than spiders, more than snakes, more than heights, more than needles. According to most statistics, if you guys look behind you, the 10 of you who stood up here and spoke, you did something that 80% of those people sitting behind you would not do. Statistics say 80% of people flat out refuse to speak in front of people. That takes courage. I always like John Wayne's definition of courage. He said, courage is being scared to death and saddling up anyway. Were any of you scared to death? It's a scary thing to stand up here, but you demonstrated courage. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to be brief this evening. I want to tell you 2 things that will make a world of difference in the next 4 years for all 30 of you. The first one is this: be courageous. Be courageous. This world can be scary. There's a lot of things to be scared of. Spiders, snakes, heights, needles, public speaking, for sure. But as you guys prepare to enter high school, 9th grade next year, I know for some parents that's a little bit traumatic right now. But you guys are fixing to be in high school. And there's some real fears that come along with going to high school. Some things that are pretty frightening. The fear of rejection, the fear of failure, the fear of growing up. Anybody afraid of growing up? Don't you wish you could go backwards and go back to kindergarten sometimes? Wouldn't that be nice? I think some adults kind of wish that sometimes. There's some scary things. Life is not learning not to be afraid. As John Wayne said, it's being afraid but going ahead anyway, moving forward even in the midst of your fear. There's a lot of things that are going to be scary in the next few years, but don't let it stop you. I was so proud of you guys tonight standing up here. And it's just not the 10 of you tonight that stood up here and spoke. I've watched this class for quite a few years now, over 5 years, and I've seen so many of you, as Zeta said, step out of your comfort zones in so many different areas, whether it's in school, whether it's outside of school, and friendships. I've watched as each one of you has taken bold, brave, courageous steps. You're about to enter a new world. Still be courageous. That's point 1. Am I going quick enough? Point 2 is this: be tough. Be tough. Let me explain what I mean by be tough. People nowadays, not just teenagers, adults, everywhere we look, people want the easy way out. We want to find what's quickest, what's easiest, what is the least costly to us. Unfortunately, that's not the way the world works most of the time. Sometimes you need to choose to do the hard things. In the 1950s and 1960s, that's a long time ago, isn't it? That was actually before I was alive even. That's been a while back. In the 1950s and 1960s, America was in the space race with Russia. The first goal was to see who could put a satellite in orbit, and Russia won that. The next goal was to see who could put a man in space, and Russia put the first man in space. The next goal was to put a man on the moon. And on September 12, 1962, President John F. Kennedy stood at the Kennedy Space Center in Houston, Texas, and delivered his speech in which he laid out many goals for the United States, and one of which being landing on the moon. Some of y'all caught that, didn't you? Uh-huh. I caught that. And that's on YouTube now. Whew. Living forever. I know how to, man. Yeah, See, I heard some giggling. Let's try that again. One of which, there we go, was landing on the moon. He said this: "We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard." You're going to have a lot of choices to make. Hopefully one of them is not cussing at graduation. But you've got a lot of choices. Some of you are choosing to step out of your comfort zone, as Zeta said, with sports. You may not excel at sports, but you get out and you give your best and you try your hardest. For some, it's in FFA or FCCLA. Some, it's in music. Some, it's academics. There's always going to be an easy way out. Don't take the easy way out. Always look. Push yourself. Be courageous. Be tough. The world needs people who are courageous and who are tough. There's always going to be other alternatives. I asked Mr. Grable earlier, out of our 10 speakers, did they have a choice whether they got to speak or not? And he told me, he said, I didn't tell them they didn't, or they had to. He said, some of them asked, do I have to? And I just told them, you ought to. It'd be good for you. And it's pretty remarkable to me that out of 10 of you, all 10 of you chose to speak, even though you were afraid, even though it was scary. You guys are off to a good start. Sentinel 8th grade class of 2022, in the years that are ahead, be courageous and be tough. The world may not change, but I promise you, your world will change. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Towery. Courageous and tough. That's pretty good advice, young people. Graduating candidates, please stand. Mr. Goosetree, members of the board, I would like to present these 8th grade students as candidates for promotion into Sentinel High School. Angel Alexander. Nevaeh Alexander. Brett Allen. Mckenna Baker. Zeta Baker. Case Callahan. Gavin Casey. Dason Corbin. Kale Dyer. Teague Ferris. Levi Fields. Jaden Friez. Maria Giblett. Riggs Harris. Devin Leslie. Macy McDougall. Clara Morrissey. Giselle Oropeza. Nicholas Perez. Macy Rascone. Teresa Rascone. Maverick Sanders. Vernon Scott. Ryan Shields. Robert Schultz. Drew Smith. Ace Snowden. Maggie Towery. Brandy Varney. Hunter Winters.
Ladies and gentlemen, family and friends, 8th graders, with the power vested in me by the Sentinel Board of Education, I pronounce you 2022 graduates of Sentinel Junior High.
That concludes this evening's ceremony. I would like to thank everybody for coming. Have a safe trip home. Thank you.